China's President Xi Jinping has finally congratulated Joe Biden for his purported victory, and with this, it seems as if Beijing has started dictating terms to Biden. Chinese Communist Party mouthpiece Global Times has written an editorial virtually directing Joe Biden to have an Asia-Pacific policy instead of an Indo-Pacific policy. Any such change would tend to elevate China's status in the region while undermining India's centrality under the present Indo-Pacific concept. Trump has been quite enthusiastic about the Indo-Pacific concept, which has led to India gaining prominence in the region. But Global Times now hopes that Jinping will be able to persuade a new US administration led by Biden to adopt an Asia-Pacific policy. The CCP mouthpiece stated the Biden team should abandon Trump's reckless pursuit of the Indo-Pacific strategy, which runs counter to regional realities. They should stop stirring up the region with the concept of the Indo-Pacific. China will hugely benefit from an Asia-Pacific policy and the replacement of the Indo-Pacific concept in the American narrative. First of all, it will help China escape a growing sentiment in favor of isolating Beijing in the Indo-Pacific region. And secondly, any deviation from the Indo-Pacific concept would undermine the role of Quad, a strategic forum comprising Australia, India, Japan and the US to contain China in the Indo-Pacific. Usually, the Global Times editorial might have seemed absurd, but consider this. The CCP mouthpiece sought to advise a change in the US policy only after Biden nominated his cabinet picks. Global Times was probably guided by the nomination of Jake Sullivan as the US National Security Advisor. Sullivan is believed to have a great affinity for China and has in the past advocated China's rise. So, we can't really blame China or the Global Times, can we? After all, Biden nominated Jake Sullivan, who does have a history of making pro-China remarks. China interpreted Sullivan's nomination as a hint, and the Xi Jinping-led CCP got Global Times to make a rather peculiar demand to Joe Biden. Global Times seems to think that it understands Biden's worldview. The CCP mouthpiece stated, a binary system in the Asia-Pacific region between China and the US is certainly not welcome and will encounter opposition and barriers. This is not what the Washington elites want to see. The idea of Xi Jinping administration issuing directions to a possible Biden administration might sound outrageous. But then Biden's cabinet nominee choices and his larger narrative of the need to engage China is what emboldens Beijing to go out of its way and make an attempt to drive Biden's China policy. The fact remains that President Trump has left China in a hopeless geopolitical situation with his Indo-Pacific policy. Beijing needs something to cling on in the background of an extremely hostile regional alliance taking shape in the Indo-Pacific. Biden's purported victory has come as a ray of hope for Xi Jinping. And as Biden's initial maneuvers clearly illustrate a lack of intent to punish the Middle Kingdom, the Chinese president is making all possible attempts to direct Washington's future Indo-Pacific policy.